What a week it has been for Jeremy Doku and Manchester City. After his dramatic brace against Everton, Doku delivered yet again with another sensational performance as City defeated Brentford 3-0 at the Etihad Stadium. The Belgian winger completely terrorised the Brentford defence, scoring a stunning opener before goals from Erling Haaland and Omar Marmoush sealed a massive win in the Premier League title race. But the match wasn't without controversy, as Brentford boss Keith Andrews blasted the refereeing decisions, including a huge penalty shout involving Kevin Shade and Matheus Nunes. In today's video, we break down Jeremy Doku's match-winning display, Pep Guardiola's reaction, the key moments from Manchester City versus Brentford, and the refereeing drama that has everyone talking. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all the latest Manchester City news and Premier League updates. It has been a big week for Jeremy Doku. It was Doku's brace and late equaliser that saw Manchester City pick up a point in a 3-3 draw with Everton at the Hill Dickinson Stadium last Monday. That point could prove to be pivotal in this season's title race depending on how the 2025-26 season ends. For an hour against Brentford yesterday, Pep Guardiola's side was frustrated by a stubborn defensive display from Keith Andrews' side. However, Jeremy Doku was a constant threat to the Brentford defence throughout yesterday's match, and he broke the deadlock with a superb goal in the 60th minute. Doku broke open the game, and Manchester City picked up a crucial 3-0 win over Brentford yesterday. Jeremy Doku was once again the game-breaker for City, as his performance yesterday continued to show how far he has come as a player. Doku's display yesterday showed that he is now Manchester City's next match winner, who can break open a game in an instant. Manchester City simply had to win yesterday, and it was Jeremy Doku who led the way. Entering yesterday's match against Brentford, Manchester City simply had to pick up all 3 points. The draw that City played out against Everton had seen City give the initiative to Arsenal in this season's title race. For an hour yesterday, City were frustrated by Brentford and their stubborn defensive display. Throughout the opening hour of yesterday's match, Jeremy Doku always seemed the player most likely to break open yesterday's match for his team. Doku gave Brentford right-back Michael Keown a torrid time throughout yesterday's match. He also played in a plethora of teasing crosses that his teammates failed to get on the end of. What Jeremy Doku has added to his game recently is game-breaking and spectacular goals. The Belgian winger scored 2 cracking goals against Everton. He added another yesterday. With yesterday's match level at 0-0, Manchester City needed someone to step up. It was Doku that did it again. Jeremy Doku curled an unstoppable shot into the far top corner from the left of the Brentford penalty area that left Kevin Shade with no chance of saving the shot. Doku's goal set City on their way, and when his team needed someone to light the fire, Doku stepped up once again. Pep Guardiola believes that Jeremy Doku is now one of the most dangerous attacking players in the game. Speaking after his team picked up a massive 3 points, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola was asked if Jeremy Doku can now be considered one of the most dangerous attacking players in football. Guardiola believes that Doku now is, and the Belgian winger deserves credit for taking the game on. Guardiola explained, "Yes, absolutely, I completely agree. Always he had this ability when he has the ball, to drop the team with the dribbles, but we miss maybe the last pass or the goals. But this season he made an incredible step forward, which players must do. To try to get better and better. It belongs absolutely to him, the confidence to try it." Jeremy Doku has now firmly established himself as Manchester City's newest game-breaker. He has scored 3 spectacular and important goals over the past week. Doku tormented Brentford yesterday with a performance that was the very definition of a match-winning display. Jeremy Doku has lifted for the run-in, and he is now one of Manchester City's most important players with the potential to take his game to a whole new level. Manchester City 3, Jeremy Doku 60-foot, Erling Haaland 75, Omar Marmoush 90+2. Here are the City player ratings and match report as Manchester City comfortably beat Brentford 3-0 at the Etihad Stadium with a polished performance against a very well-organised and quality Brentford side today. Jeremy Doku was the star of the show for City as he put in another dazzling and match-winning performance. After City endured a frustrating first half, Jeremy Doku opened the scoring on the hour mark to set City on their way. Goals from Erling Haaland and Omar Marmoush sealed Manchester City's win, who moved within 2 points of Arsenal on the Premier League table. When the starting lineups were announced, Pep Guardiola had made 2 changes to the starting 11 that drew 3-3 with Everton. Nathan Ake and Tijani Reinders came into the starting lineup as Nico dropped to the bench and Abdulkadir Kusanov missed today's match due to a minor injury. Kusanov picked up a knock against Everton which saw him ruled out of today's match. The game was 3 minutes old when Manchester City had their first shot on target of the afternoon. A sweeping City counter-attack saw Jeremy Doku picked out in acres of space on the left. Doku drove into the Brentford penalty area and found himself in a great position to shoot. Doku got a low strike in on goal which Brentford keeper Callum Kelleher got down low to his left to keep out. A minute later Doku played in Nico O'Reilly, whose dangerous cutback from the left-hand touchline was cleared by the Brentford defence. A long throw-in from Brentford right-back Michael Keown caused concern for City in the 8th minute. Keown took a throw-in from their right-hand side that Gianluigi Donnarumma came out to claim but got nowhere near the ball. The City defence eventually cleared the ball away from near the goal line after it ricocheted off of Donnarumma, which was a cause for concern for Pep Guardiola's side. As the game ticked over the 15-minute mark, it was clear that Brentford were proving to be more than a handful. The visitors were the better team in the opening 15 minutes, and Gianluigi Donnarumma punched away a dangerous free kick from the left from Matthias Jensen, low down to his left in the 16th minute. City would have to lift if they were to get hold of a team that was showing why they were performing so well in the league this season. Erling Haaland has 3 chances to break the deadlock. Erling Haaland would head a Jeremy Doku cross over the bar in the 20th minute. Doku cut inside and put in a teasing ball into a dangerous area. Haaland had a free header from the penalty spot that went over the bar and didn't test Brentford keeper Callum Kelleher. It was a good chance for Haaland that was squandered. Antoine Semenyo would create another chance for Erling Haaland in the 26th minute. Semenyo got to the byline on the right wing after beating 2 Brentford defenders to create space for himself to cross. Semenyo's ball picked out Haaland, who headed a good chance straight at Callum Kelleher, who collected the ball with ease. Erling Haaland saw a great chance blocked by the Brentford defence 2 minutes later. Jeremy Doku, who was by far Manchester City's most dangerous player on the pitch, drove past Michael Keown on the left and picked out Haaland in a great position to shoot. Haaland fired a shot from 6 yards out at goal, which was goal-bound, but the Brentford defence blocked it, taking the sting out of Haaland's shot, and Callum Kelleher gathered the ball safely. Manchester City were beginning to dominate possession and had dropped Brentford into their own area for a sustained period when Jeremy Doku won a free kick for City in a great position in the 38th minute. Unfortunately, Ryan Cherki's free kick hit Erling Haaland and deflected away from goal, and the chance came to nothing for City. Manchester City would need to go up a gear to break down a stubborn Brentford outfit. As the whistle blew for half-time, the game went into the interval at 0-0. After Brentford's bright opening 15 minutes, Manchester City dominated the remainder of the first half. Jeremy Doku was giving Brentford right-back Michael Keown a torrid time on the left wing, and he was seemingly Manchester City's best route to finding a breakthrough. City weren't poor by any stretch in the first half, far from it. However, they were struggling to break down Brentford's packed defence throughout the first half. Second half. Manchester City began the second half brightly and Ryan Cherki almost opened the scoring in the 47th minute. Jeremy Doku played a ball from the left to Cherki, who was just inside the Brentford penalty area. Cherki tried to beat Callum Kelleher at his near post and he almost succeeded. However, his low shot went inches wide of the post with Kelleher scrambling. Gianluigi Donnarumma would keep the score at 0-0 in the 55th minute when he kept out Brentford striker Igor Thiago's shot. Thiago was played in behind the City defence by a quality through ball from Michael Keown. Igor Thiago only had Donnarumma to beat, but his shot was too close to the Italian goalkeeper and he produced a good save to deny Brentford the first goal of the match. Jeremy Doku fires Manchester City into the lead. Manchester City would take the lead in the 60th minute. Bernardo Silva played a short corner to Jeremy Doku, who attempted to play the ball back to Bernardo Silva. Doku's ball ricocheted off of a Brentford defender and came back to the Belgian winger. Doku got himself into a good position on the left-hand side of the Brentford penalty area. Jeremy Doku unleashed a curling right-footed shot into the top corner that left Brentford keeper Callum Kelleher diving at thin air to give Manchester City the lead. It was Jeremy Doku's third superb goal of the week, and it came at exactly the right time for Pep Guardiola's side. Phil Foden would be denied by Callum Kelleher in the 67th minute. Jeremy Doku once again pinned and teased the Brentford defence, and Doku's ingenuity created an opening for his team. Foden seized on the ball in the Brentford area and got a shot in on goal from a tight angle. However, Kelleher got down quickly to keep out Foden's shot with a smart save to prevent Manchester City from taking a 2-0 lead. Brentford would have a shout for a penalty in the 71st minute. Dango Ouattara played a nice through ball to Igor Thiago behind the City defence. Thiago got to the ball and cut it back into the path of Kevin Shade. Shade fell to the floor under pressure from Matheus Nunes. However, the referee waved play on, and after a VAR check, the visitors were not given a spot kick. That did seem to be the right decision by the referee and VAR. Erling Haaland doubles Manchester City's lead. Manchester City took a 2-0 lead in the 75th minute. Antoine Semenyo burst down the right wing and played a ball that was deflected by the Brentford defence into Erling Haaland's path in the 6-yard box. Haaland produced a scruffy backheel finish to beat Callum Kelleher and give his team a valuable 2-0 lead. It wasn't the most beautiful goal you'll ever see, but it was priceless to Pep Guardiola's side. With 10 minutes plus stoppage time left to play, it appeared that Erling Haaland's goal had taken the life out of Brentford. In the 82nd minute, Jeremy Doku once again created a chance from the left for Phil Foden. Doku's cutback found Foden, who produced an elaborate flick on goal at the near post from 5 yards out. Callum Kelleher produced a stunning save to deny Foden a lovely goal. Omar grabs a goal to complete a good day for Pep Guardiola's side. Omar Marmoush would give City a 3-0 lead in the 2nd minute of second-half stoppage time. Savinho picked the ball on the left wing in acres of space, and he played a good ball to Erling Haaland just outside the Brentford area. Haaland played a clever through ball to Marmoush, and the Egyptian international beat Callum Kelleher with a great and composed right-footed finish to give City a 3-0 lead. It was a great team goal for Pep Guardiola's side, and it rounded off a great afternoon for City. Gianluigi Donnarumma tipped an Igor Thiago header onto the crossbar a minute later to preserve his clean sheet. Donnarumma's save was a quality one to deny Brentford a late consolation goal. Donnarumma's save would be the final significant moment of the match. Manchester City picked up a well-deserved 3-0 win in a match that they dominated after a tough opening 15 minutes. Jeremy Doku was the standout performer of the day, and City's win sees them move within 2 points of Arsenal, who sit top of the Premier League. City's title chase remains on as they shifted the pressure onto Mikel Arteta's side, who face West Ham at the London Stadium tomorrow. Brentford baffled by refereeing decisions as Man City ride their luck in vital victory. Brentford head coach Keith Andrews was left incensed with the officiating as Manchester City secured a controversial 3-0 win at the Etihad Stadium. Despite the comfortable scoreline on paper, the Bees boss believes a series of baffling decisions prevented his side from upsetting the Premier League title race. Penalty controversy leaves Andrews fuming. The biggest talking point arrived in the 71st minute, with the game still delicately poised at 1-0. Kevin Shade went down under a challenge from Matheus Nunes, but referee Michael Salisbury waved away the protests, and VAR James Bell chose not to intervene. The decision left the Brentford bench stunned as they missed the chance to level the scoring during a period of sustained pressure. "I thought Kevin Shade's one in the second half was a penalty. So that was really disappointing," Andrews told Sky Sports. He later said in his press conference, "In what world he goes down unless there's contact is beyond me. Because there's a goal to get us back to 1-1. That's the one that I'm struggling to comprehend. The comment I heard was not enough contact. But someone who is as quick as Kevin Shade, with his eyes on goal, I'm not sure how much contact he, the referee, is looking for. Especially with how quick Kev is and the nature of it. Silva escapes red for aggressive attitude. It wasn't just the penalty shout that drew ire from the visitors. Man City captain Bernardo Silva found himself in the book following a heated exchange with Nathan Collins, where the Portuguese midfielder appeared to swing an arm and strike his opponent's leg while on the ground. Despite the aggressive nature of the clash, Silva remained on the pitch to help his side navigate a tricky second half. The Brentford captain felt the lack of a dismissal allowed City to regain their confidence and ultimately pull away. Nunes lucky to avoid first-half dismissal. The Bees were also convinced that Matheus Nunes should have seen red much earlier in the afternoon. Shade had broken clear and appeared to be hauled down by the City right-back, but the referee deemed the challenge legal. Replays indicated a microscopic touch on the ball, which likely saved the former Wolves man from a red card for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Andrews remained pragmatic about that particular incident, admitting, "The first half one, I haven't seen that one back. The coaches have said there might have been a bit of contact on the ball. If that's the case, fair enough." Pundit and former City defender Micah Richards agreed that the margin was razor-thin, suggesting that Nunes was very lucky to have escaped punishment in a moment that could have changed the entire complexion of the match. City punished Bees to keep pace with Gunners. Despite the officiating drama, City showed their clinical edge late on to ensure they stayed within 2 points of league leaders Arsenal. Jeremy Doku broke the deadlock before Erling Haaland and Omar Marmoush added further gloss to the scoreline. The victory keeps Pep Guardiola's domestic treble chasers firmly in the hunt, though the Brentford camp will feel the result doesn't tell the full story of a match defined by marginal calls. Jeremy Doku is quickly becoming the ultimate game-changer for Manchester City. With 3 spectacular goals in just 1 week, the Belgian winger is stepping up at exactly the right time in the Premier League title race. City's 3-0 victory over Brentford keeps the pressure firmly on Arsenal, but the controversy surrounding the officiating will continue to dominate headlines after Keith Andrews' explosive comments. Was Brentford robbed of a penalty? Should Bernardo Silva or Matheus Nunes have seen red? And can Jeremy Doku lead Pep Guardiola's side to another Premier League title? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest Manchester City news, match reactions, transfer updates, and Premier League analysis.